Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another stream. I hope you guys are all doing well. I know for a fact you guys are doing well because Bitcoin and crypto is continuing to pump up today. So that's absolutely, amazing to see. As always, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is now back above $30,000. Currently at $30,200 as I'm streaming. But Bitcoin has been holding up very, very well, and not just Bitcoin but other altcoins as well. So in this stream, guys, I have a fair few things to talk about, right? Obviously this is very exciting for Bitcoin to bounce back up to 30k, because obviously this is the moment we've been waiting for, right here, to see Bitcoin back at $30,000. It's been quite some time since we have seen Bitcoin at 30k, right? The last time we seen Bitcoin at $30,000 was, I believe, in May, right over here, I believe. Somewhere in May, yes. So the last time we seen Bitcoin was like a couple weeks ago, is over a month for sure. So it's great to see Bitcoin strongly above $30,000. Okay, and you guys clearly see, obviously, for the past 24 hours or so, Bitcoin has been pumping. Okay, you guys clearly see, some very strong green candles. Okay, and it's looking very, very bullish for Bitcoin. And obviously, someone out there is buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin, and that's why we aren't seeing Bitcoin pump like crazy. And not just Bitcoin, but of course other altcoins. The entire cryptocurrency market is looking pretty good. Global crypto market cap right now is currently at 1.18 trillion, and overall the market today is up 4%. And you guys clearly see for the past 24 hours, Bitcoin is up 4.7%, and for the past week, for the past 7 days, it's up 20%, right? So obviously, the dominance for Bitcoin is currently at 49.6%, and Ethereum's at 19.5%, right there. You guys clearly see that, right? So it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and of course other altcoins, right? 24 hours, XRP is up 5%, Cardano 6%, same with Dogecoin, Solana 3%, okay, Litecoin 7%, Polygon 6.8%. You guys get the gesture, right? A fair few altcoins are in fact pumping. Okay, Shiba Inu, AVAX, Avalanche is up over 6%. Chainlink today 7.5%. So it's just another green day today, right? Like what we saw yesterday. Okay, this pump is continuing up to the upside. Okay, and I'm just really happy to see Bitcoin finally back up at $30,000, right? I really am, and I know you guys are in fact excited for that as well. Now in this video, guys, okay, in this stream, sorry, I want to show you guys a fair few charts, okay, and it's really important. So we know Bitcoin was in fact creating a high lows, and high lows and whatnot, right? But it's obviously breaking out right now. Okay, we know Bitcoin was in fact forming this downtrend for the past few weeks, and right now it's now breaking above this, that resistance line, right over here. You guys clearly see, it's clearly breaking out of it, and it's looking very good for Bitcoin, right? So this is looking amazing. Okay, it's obviously creating another high. Okay, just like as I predicted. Okay, a lot of people thought Bitcoin would actually do the opposite and break down from this, right? But no. Okay, obviously it's breaking up. So this is exactly as I predicted. If you guys have in fact been watching, my videos for the past few days, even my streams, I've been mentioning that Bitcoin will pump up to the upside, right? So seems like my predictions were in fact right, and I'm just glad that when we saw this downtrend for Bitcoin, I'm just glad I was buying into Bitcoin, right? I was dollar cost averaging and I was stacking. Okay, I was investing heavy into Bitcoin, not just Bitcoin but other altcoins as well. But obviously, Bitcoin is in fact my main investment. So I'm just glad that we are in fact creating another high, and it's obviously breaking above this resistance line. Okay, I'm glad we are finally getting out of it. So that's obviously amazing to see for Bitcoin. And of course, right, I told you guys, when we see Bitcoin break above 30k, right, I think Bitcoin will continue up to the upside, right? This rally that we have in fact been seeing, you guys can just clearly see it right now, right, where the pattern is heading. Okay, and it's very, very bullish. You guys can clearly see that. So last November and December, we saw Bitcoin at a low of around $15,000 at one point, and it was hovering between 16 and even went up to around $18,000, but it went back down to 16K once again, right? So at this time right here, last November, December, would have been a great time to DCA into Bitcoin. And then we saw Bitcoin pump. Okay, and then of course, right, when it pumped, had this massive pump up, we had a correction right here, guys, and it dropped all the way down below, just below $20,000. It went all the way down to around $19.7 thousand, and then it had a massive upside, right? You guys can clearly see that, right? So you guys can clearly see, we did in fact see these two curves forming, right? You guys can clearly see that, and right now Bitcoin is breaking out of it, right? You guys can clearly see that. So that means, okay, in my personal opinion, Bitcoin will 100% go well above $30,000. It's going to go to $31,000, $32,000, $35,000, just as I predicted right up here. Okay, as I targeted right here. Okay, I believe this is going to be the next target for Bitcoin once it surpasses this resistance line of $30,000. And then it's going to go to $40,000 and of course $50,000. Right, I've been mentioning that many times that personally I see a 50K Bitcoin towards the end of this year in 2023. So there's still room to grow, and I think that's a very, very realistic price target for Bitcoin to hit throughout this year in 2023, right? Very, very realistic. So yes, it's not just me that thinks Bitcoin will bounce back up above $30,000. Okay, this chart indicates that once Bitcoin continues to pump up to the upside, right, it's going to reach $32,000, and I've been mentioning that many, many times as well. It seems like a lot of people out there, okay, since Bitcoin is well above 30K, are in fact predicting that this pump will continue. Now, will it continue though? Who knows? Okay, we could potentially see another correction since Bitcoin has been pumping for the past few days, right? If you guys have a look over here, for the past week, 7 days, it's up 20%, right? It's been a very long time since we have seen that for Bitcoin. So personally, we could potentially see some small corrections for Bitcoin, meaning we could potentially see Bitcoin drop back down below, $29,000, 28, even 27, maybe, right? Or it could potentially, continue to pump up to the upside. Okay, time will tell, we will see. But yes, $32,000 is very, very possible in, I want to say, less than a week time. I think that's very, very possible for Bitcoin if this pump does in fact continue. And if Bitcoin holds up at like $29,000 to $30,000. I think that's very, very possible for Bitcoin to hit in the next few days. And of course, the reason why Bitcoin is pumping is because someone out there is buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin. Okay, this is not a short squeeze, but someone is buying a lot of Bitcoin, right? And that's why we're unfaxing Bitcoin pump. Okay, everyone is talking about it on Twitter and social media with this pump. Okay, it seems like there's a lot of FOMO now going on around. Okay. And the Fin Greed Index is currently in greed mode, and I'm gonna get to that, right? But it is in fact in greed. Okay, so we are in fact in the green. So it seems like everyone right now is being greedy. There's a lot of FOMO, and this is exactly what we've been waiting for, guys. Okay, this is the moment we have been waiting for. Remember, guys. Okay, just a couple of weeks ago, right? Around 2 weeks ago, there was a lot of FUD. Okay, with the SEC, suing, two major crypto exchanges, right? Coinbase and Binance, right? There was a lot of FOMO. I mean, there was a lot of FUD, not FOMO. So you guys have to understand, I told you guys at that very moment, with all that negative news and the FUD, right, with the SEC, right? Even the SEC was naming a fair few altcoins, crypto tokens, securities, right? And they're not. I told you guys to ignore the nonsense, ignore the noise, ignore the FUD, okay? All that, right? Because they're trying to make you panic so you can panic sell and be spooked out. And I told you guys that Bitcoin will eventually recover. And here we are 2 weeks later, and Bitcoin is back at $30,000. I told you guys as many times, Bitcoin will eventually recover, right? And altcoins, okay, will recover. Okay, the SEC that have mentioned that are in fact securities, right? I don't know, Cardano, right? Polygon, Solana, Filecoin, right? Mana, and many more, okay, Algorand, are in fact securities. They're all pretty much recovering right now. They're pumping today. Right, so I told you guys it will eventually recover. Crypto will recover from all this long term. Okay, and literally it's only been 2 weeks, and Bitcoin is already back at $30,000. You know what I mean? So just think about that. Right, 2 weeks ago we saw Bitcoin dump all the way down to like just below 25,000, around like 24.8, I want to say. And now, 2 weeks later, right, it's now back at $30,000. So just think about that, right? So obviously, there's a lot of FOMO going on right now. Someone out there is buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin. That's why we aren't faxing Bitcoin pump, right? So that's that. Now, I really want to show you guys this. It's sort of blurry, so I'm going to show you guys like this. But this right here pretty much, shows you guys different assets that have performed for the past few years. So you guys can see Bitcoin, gold, and S&P 500. And you guys can clearly see in 10 years, Bitcoin had a return of over 29,000%. 29,000%. Gold, 49%. And S&P 500, 175%. So you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is the clear winner here. And this is why I always tell you guys, Bitcoin, in my opinion, okay, if you're thinking long term, which asset you should invest in for long term, I think Bitcoin, okay, and of course real estate, right? Properties. Also, we can't go wrong with real estate. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I think real estate is 100% a great investment for long term as well. But Bitcoin, right? 29,000%, guys. Just think about that. Okay, 10-year. So just think about it, right? Gold, okay, gold, guys, like, yes, gold has store of value. I get that, right? But gold doesn't move, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It really, really doesn't. Yes, gold holds up very well. Okay, it's not as volatile as Bitcoin. I get that. But gold has been around for decades, for a very long period of time, right? Whereas Bitcoin has only been around for over like 13 years. So I really do believe, once Bitcoin does, in fact, evolve more, okay, it's going to be less volatile, right? It really will. Okay, so in my opinion, I think Bitcoin will outperform gold by market cap. Okay, so I think, yeah, I think Bitcoin's gonna easily replace gold, 100%. That's just my opinion. In in the next few years, especially like I want to say like a decade from now, 10 years from now, I think Bitcoin will outperform gold by market cap, 100%, in my opinion, right? So you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is just the winner here. Bitcoin has obviously outperformed gold and the S&P 500, right? So just think about that. Now, the Bitcoin monthly returns, okay, is looking very, very good, okay, for Bitcoin this month so far in June. It's now up 10.7%, over 10%. We are finally back in the greens, okay, and it's surprising because, the reason why I say surprising is because June is usually a month where Bitcoin doesn't really, perform that well. You guys see in previous years, 2022, we saw, Bitcoin drop 37%. The reason why that month, okay, in 2022, right in June, was a really bad month for Bitcoin and crypto. It was because a lot of things happened, right, that caused the markets to crash. Like, for example, Celsius, right, gone bankrupt and freezing people's money and whatnot and their crypto assets. And of course, Terra Luna at that time, right? Terra Luna, we know what happened with Terra Luna. It crashed, and that's what caused Bitcoin to dip, Ethereum, and many more other altcoins. Pretty much the entire crypto market, right? So think about it, right? If you survived all of 2022, you can literally survive anything. Like literally anything. That was a very, very bad year. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? That was a very terrible year. So if you survived 2022, you can literally survive anything. And I'm just glad 2022 was over because that was a terrible year. There was so much negative news and FUD, and everyone was just being so fearful and saying Bitcoin was going to drop to $0. Now this year in 2023, Bitcoin's obviously slowly recovering, and it will continue to recover. We know the Bitcoin halving is obviously right around the corner, okay? And that's going to happen. And we know what happens when the Bitcoin halving happens, right? We're going to see Bitcoin skyrocket, and not just Bitcoin, but altcoins. And we call it alt season. That's where altcoins pump like crazy, right? So some exciting times are in fact coming, guys. Okay, we see the light in the tunnel, and it's coming. And this is why I always tell you guys that Bitcoin will recover. Okay, now that's Bitcoin. Now, if we go to Ethereum, it's up 2%. So that's still not too bad. I remember looking at this and Ethereum was down like 10%, like literally 2 days ago, I believe. And now it's at 2%, back in the greens. So that's absolutely, amazing to see for Ethereum, right? But yeah, that's that. Now the Fingrid index, like I said, like I mentioned before, it's in greed. Okay, yesterday we saw it at 59, which means it was in fact in greed mode as well. Last week we saw it in fear, and last month we saw it at neutral. I'm just glad that we are in fact seeing greed mode right now. Okay, it's because for the past like few weeks we've been seeing this in neutral, right? For the longest time, and it was sort of getting boring. So I'm just glad that this did in fact change to the greed mode, and we are officially in the greens, right? You guys can clearly see it did in fact have a bounce back up for the past few days, and that's because obviously Bitcoin is pumping, right? So it's looking amazing right now. Okay, it really, really is. Now, also another funny thing here is, okay, Tristan Tate, okay, Andrew Tate's brother. We all know, you know, the Tate brothers, who they are, okay, and he tweeted this out yesterday, and it just made me laugh. You know what I mean? Like, we know the Tate brothers troll a lot, right? They're funny. I'm not gonna lie, right? This made me laugh when I read this. Okay, so he says here, never forget that the mainstream media think I own 21 million Bitcoin. Now we know, we know that the supply limit for Bitcoin is 21 million. Okay, and the mainstream thinks that Tristan Tate owns all of those Bitcoins. But we know who owns the most Bitcoins. Obviously, he's just trolling here, guys, okay? But I just found it, you know, very, very funny. But yeah, that's that. I actually want to show you guys this news channel talking about this. It's actually pretty funny. So I'm gonna turn this up so you guys can hear it.
Seized by the Romanian authorities.
Sorry.
Seized by the Romanian authorities. Very interestingly, also here they detail this. The money that they say they wanted to seize included €52,500, $17,000, £10,000, but also over 21 million Bitcoin. For those of you who have followed the value of Bitcoin, that works out as nearly $400 million. So
that's just funny. Right? Even the news channels are talking about this. Like, you know, the Tate brothers, are they secretly Satoshi Nakamoto? Right, we obviously know they're not. Okay, they're just trolling, obviously, like usual, right? But I just found this pretty funny. You know what I mean? That he even tweeted this out, right? So that yeah, that's that. But guys, check this out also, right? We know the market is pumping, okay, up like 4% and whatnot. Pretty much everything right now. I don't think. Okay, there'll probably be some reds, yeah. Okay, but majority of altcoins you guys can see are in fact in the greens, right? But check this out. Look at Pepe. Pepe, okay, is up over 40% today. 42%. So it seems like, okay, I remember, guys, right? Like a couple of days ago, of course, a few weeks ago, I was telling guys that it seems like Pepe lost its steam. But I was wrong, right? Pepe is up over 40% today. Okay, absolutely amazing to see for Pepe. We know Pepe has in fact been dropping. So right now, you guys clearly see Pepe is in fact having this bounce up. Right, you guys clearly see that. So that's absolutely amazing to see, because obviously we know Pepe reached a new all-time high around May, early of May. And then it just slowly, you know, dropped back down. Right, like slowly, you guys clearly see that, right? A slow little downtrend right now. Okay, but obviously Pepe is in fact breaking out from that downtrend. Okay, so that's absolutely amazing to see for Pepe, right? Up 40%, because I thought Pepe was going to drop even more, and I thought like it lost its steam. You know, we'll never see Pepe pump over 10% ever again, but I guess I was wrong, right? Here it is, 42%. But that's that. Have I invested into Pepe? I have, but I took my profits, right? I got out, you know what I mean? But that's that. Am I planning on buying more Pepe? Probably not. Probably not. Like, really right now, guys, okay? Like, I'm really trying to focus on just accumulating more Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's really it, you know what I mean? I'm not really trying to invest into, like, other risky, low-cap coins. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for long-term, guys. I'm not, you know, here for short-term or anything like that. But that's that. So, yeah, Bitcoin is pumping, okay? $30,000. We love to see it. And I know you guys are happy as hell. And I know majority of our portfolios right now are, in fact, looking amazing. Okay? And I hope you guys didn't panic. So I hope you guys ignored the FUD and all that. because obviously right now everything's looking pretty good for Bitcoin and crypto, right? It really is. Okay, $30,000. This is the moment we have all been waiting for, finally, right? So this is absolutely amazing. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. If you guys haven't seen my most previous videos that are uploaded today, you should definitely check them out. I feel like those videos are very, very important. All my videos are very important. So if you guys haven't seen my most previous videos, the ones that I uploaded just today, definitely check them out. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I will keep up with you guys on what's going to happen with Bitcoin if this pump will in fact continue on. It looks like Bitcoin could potentially maybe consolidate at $30,000 at this level, maybe, right, for the next few hours, maybe for the next few days. We will see, but I think this pump will continue, or we could potentially see some more corrections. I will keep you guys updated as usual. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet already. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.